everybody. Welcome to episode 34 of the Brownie Knits podcast. I'm your host, Gina, aka Brownie Knits, and this is Kennedy, aka Kiki. So I am so grateful that you all are watching. We've had a lot of new subscribers, so welcome to anybody that this might be your first episode or second, and welcome to longtime viewers. Thank you so much for coming back. This morning, overnight, we had a little bit of a snow here in Indiana. It's been pretty cold, so Kiki and I are both all wrapped up in knits today to keep us warm. For Yorkies, they are so low to the ground that when it snows, they get little snow bundle balls. Like, she comes back in and she could like build her own snowman by then. So she's all cuddled up in her sweater that keeps her from getting snow covered too. But she's also under a bit of doctor's orders to wear a turtleneck. And she had a little issue with her neck. We had to take her to the vet this weekend. She always manages to have something happen when it's, you know, the thing you can go to is the 24-hour vet. So she's a little diva. But it was okay, and we were happy that she was all right. But she has to have this on because she has a spot on her neck and can't wear a scratch collar because that would touch it. So she's all cozied, and then 3 times a day we have to do like a hot compress on her neck, and she holds completely still, like, you know, we're torturing her or something. Although one day when she was trying to milk it, she totally fell asleep and took a nap while we were doing it. So she's so funny. But I thought I would pop on here and share some finished knits with you all and some works in progress. And then I have a slew of giveaways to talk about and some upcoming exciting things that we're going to have going on in the group. So grab some knitting, crochet, cross stitch, spinning, whatever you like to do, and we'll have a little chat. So first, I thought I'd start with a few finished items that I have on and Kiki has on. She is wearing the Piccolo Sweater, which is from the Doggie Knits book, and it is knitted out of Cascade 220, and I'm going to hold her up so that you guys can see it. You cooperate? Will you be a model? So it has, like, the body of it is brown, and then it has the pink edging with the lime green around it. And you can have a lot of fun doing different stitch or different color combos with it. And it was really an easy pattern to modify to fit her body. And even though I made it years ago, she gains her weight in her tummy. So it has a nice accommodation for that. So it still fits her even though she's gained a little weight like we all have in our house. So that was one finished item. I'm wearing, and I'm really bad about this, it is the boyfriend sweater. I'll have to put the information in the show notes. The yarn is Madelintosh in their worsted weight, and it's a custom colorway. It's not showing up accurate at all on the video here, but maybe it is on your TV. It's a very, very vibrant blue. I got it at A Good Yarn in Sarasota, Florida. It was dyed as a collaboration for the husband of the owner takes these amazing underwater photos, and this one is to go with one of those. So I always go to that shop. It's my favorite shop in the US. I always go there when we go down to Clearwater for vacations. So we haven't been in a couple years, so hopefully we'll get back there soon. And then I have on this hat, which is newly knitted. So these two objects, even though they're just finished, my sweater and Kiki's sweater, those were done years ago. This hat I just did. It's the Farro hat by Carina Spencer, and I knitted it out of Rhichard Devrieze yarn. And the color is Odd by Banksy. And it's his worsted weight. And it's supposed to have a little button here. I just haven't found a button that, and my stash of buttons that I love to go with this yet. Are you okay? Okay. So I really liked it though. I love like it's got kind of a 20s feel, and you're actually supposed to wear it like with the back and around kind of turned up. I don't even know if I can get it to do it. Yeah. But I like it down. I like the kind of feel that it has with it down, and I guess you could just play with it and wear it however you wanted. It was a fun knit, it was a fast knit, and it is a paid for pattern though, so. But her work is so beautiful. She also designed the catkin shawl, which I have the yarn and the pattern to do. What else? The Lucy hat is super, super cute, and I have that one on my list as well. And she did the Zuzu's petal shawl too. So those are, I mean, she has a lot of others too, but those are the ones that jump to the forefront of my mind and as just being absolutely adorable and on the must knit list. So, so there you go. Yeah. I also managed, I don't know if I can do this with dog in hand or not. Yeah, I don't know, Kiki, you might have to. So I finished up my Christmas Eve, Little Bobbins Knit Christmas Eve cast on socks. These are out of the DancingDogDyeworks Holly Jolly kit. So you get the variegated yarn and then the coordinating green yarn that I used for the heels and toes. And they were super fun. I've had them on the sock blockers so that I could show them to you guys. And so they will be going on my feet today. So, yeah. Can you guys even see her? She's like, her back legs are standing up and then her front, she's all tucked in. She's not happy with my movement here, so I'm gonna have to sit her down. Do you wanna go play? There you go, you can go. My next finished object, I have one sock finished, and I almost delayed recording because I'm this close to having the second one finished. So my Farro hat and the Holly Jolly socks are both part of 2016 Stash Down, and so are my next socks. And if you don't know what 2016 Stash Down is, in the Brownie Knits group in Ravelry, we are all year long trying to knit and crochet down our stash. So if you had a project that had already been started prior to January 1st, 2016, or you had yarn in your stash prior to then, all of that counts for anything that you make in 2016 for Stash Down. So you can go to the thread, join the group, go to the thread, and post active photos like as you're making it and finished photos, and you can chat about what patterns are enticing to you, what you're excited by or inspired by. And then every other month I'm going to have a drawing, and we are sharing our photos on not just Ravelry but also on Instagram with the hashtag 2016 Stash Down. So I personally have been trying not to purchase any new yarns in January or February. It is January 19th or 20th, and so far so good. Now I do have a list in my journal, my little journal that I keep every year, of yarns to try once I'm off my yarn buying ban. And it's only, you know, I'm only doing that because, well, one, I want to knit down stash. Two, I got some amazing gifted yarns for Christmas, and I just really wanted to use up stuff that I love in my stash. And I'm also today and tomorrow going to be going through my stash and getting rid of a bunch of it that I know I just am not thrilled by. I used to work at a yarn store part-time and taught there too. We had an amazing discount, and so a huge part of my stash I got really cheap, but it was so long ago, and a lot of those yarns just don't appeal to me anymore. So I just think it's time to get rid of some of them. And I do this once or twice a year. And I used to have, I'll be straight up honest, I used to have, like, our guest room was just pretty much full of yarn. And now you can see my yarn stash. I put up stash photos at the beginning of this year. We all shared pictures of our stash. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, feel free. Just so you can see where you started and where you ended at the end of the year. Yeah, but anyway, so my hat, the Holly Jolly socks, and now my Baker Street socks, which is, a lot of people are making these because the colorway is Baker Street, and Sherlock just had an episode that aired, I think overseas it might have aired around Christmas time. Over here, it aired in January, early January. And my husband actually got the Felici Baker Street colorway in 2 skeins of it for me. And so I am knitting up some socks. And maybe I should have knitted them up for him because they're in blues, which he loves, and grays. He's a huge Tampa Bay Rays baseball fan, and these are pretty much their colors. But he only got me 2 skeins, and that wouldn't have been enough for him, I don't think. He has long feet, and he likes his socks kind of high. So there you go. I'm that close. They'll finish up today. So, and then I have one other finished item that I wanted to show. And I showed last time, I believe it was, or maybe it was 2 episodes ago, that I made a hot water bottle cover for a friend. And when I ordered them off of Amazon, they came cheaper in a 2-pack. So I kept one for myself. And then I had this yarn, which is a Miss Babs. It's Miss Babs Yowza worsted, and the color is A Day at the Quarter Rose. And I had made a February lady sweater ages and ages and ages ago out of this, and had just a partial skein of it left. So I used a size 7 needle, and I used the hot water bottle cover pattern that is a free download in Ravelry by, I believe it's Lori Utely. And I will say, I like having the water bottle with me to try it on as I go, because with this yarn, it was a little bit thinner. Even though they were both worsted weights, it was a little bit thinner than the other yarn I used for the other water bottle. So I did a few more increases here because my gauge was a little bit tighter with this yarn, and I just didn't want it to stretch when the bottle was full of water. But it works really well. On the previous one, I knit the rib neck deep enough so you could fold it down. On this one, I didn't do it as deep, and I folded it in so that it covers like this little tab and stuff. So it's around that and then around the plug. And Kiki fights me. Like if I have it on my belly, she will snuggle up against it on my belly. So maybe I should just use this for her hot water or her hot compress on her neck. Maybe she wouldn't freak out so much. She's really going for like an Oscar performance. I mean, she's just like, looks, terrified I'm not going to move at all. And then falls asleep. So, okay, so those are my finished items. And I have a few works in progress to show you. Just a couple. Yeah, just a couple. So my first one is out of, I'm keeping it in my little bag that I purchased from the Felted Flower Shop on Etsy. And I am knitting, or crocheting actually, a half granny square shawl. And the designer, let me look at the little note here, is Anastacia Zittel. And this was a pattern that I learned about or saw posted on the 2016 Stash Down thread by Emma. And Emma had tagged it as a possibility for something to make using stash yarn. And I just thought it was really pretty, and I kept looking at all the different made projects for the pattern, and I just really was loving the really colorful, springy, just really, really colorful ones. And I thought, oh, I don't know that I have anything in my stash. I'd have to combine different yarns. And then I thought, no, I have that lovely Hedgehog Fibres sock yarn that Carol gave me for Christmas. And it would be sort of a shame to waste it on socks that are going to be hidden in shoes. Although it's amazingly soft, so it would feel amazing on your feet. But I just thought it was great for a shawl. So I am making the half square granny shawl using it. And as you can see, it's very colorful. And I think it'll just be really cute in the spring to wear, you know, with like a bright top or even just a white top just around your neck. So yeah. And I'm making mine, I think the pattern called for a G hook. I'm using an F. I am kind of a little bit tighter of a crocheter than I am a knitter, but I didn't like how it looked on a G. And it's really customizable. You could really use any weight of yarn and just adjust your hook size to make the pattern. And it is a free pattern. So yeah, that one should go pretty fast once I'm just working on it. And then this one, and if you're new to the podcast, this bag is a special little bag. I had another Yorkie who passed almost a year ago. Actually, it was probably a year ago this week. And we'd had him forever, and he had a little coat that he would wear in the rain. He refused to go out if otherwise. And so when he passed away, I asked the Felted Flower shop if they could take his coat and maybe add some material to the project and create a project bag. And then I have his little tag as my tadpole. Sounded like I said tadpole. No, tagpole. You didn't know there were tadpoles in yarn, huh? In knitting. So this project, I've showed the very beginning stages of this project multiple episodes ago. And I just didn't want to bore you every time. So, but now it's come along enough where I think it's interesting. So this project, I'm a huge IU basketball fan. And I decided, last year I knit socks that showed the record, win-loss record. And this year I decided to do a cowl. So I have this sport weight yarn. It is Madelintosh Pashmina in Scarlet and Manos Serena in cream. And I'm actually holding, I wasn't at first, but I am now holding the Serena doubled. So you can see here, I didn't hold it doubled on these two lost stripes, but I did here. And I kind of like that thickness a little bit better. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, they have had, they've been on an 11-game winning streak. Yay! So I only have 3 losses in there so far. So that won't stay the same. Our January schedule is not very difficult. Our February, March schedule is really difficult. So, but I had all of this yarn in my stash. So this, and I started it in 2015. So this actually counts for stash down too. And I just think it's turning out so pretty. And if any of you are Hoosiers, you'll know that we're, or if you're Big Ten people, you'll know we're known for our candy stripe pants, which kind of look like that. So that's why I went with these colors and this kind of patterning. So I did 100 stitches around on a size 5 needle, and I'm doing 12 rows a game. So if you are a huge NCAA basketball fan and you want to do a win-loss record for your team, you could, you know, get some yarn and knits up really fast, like it, you know, so you could easily catch up. So I'm really excited about that one, especially since it's so much red. Red is my favorite color. And, you know, who doesn't love some Madelintosh Pashmina? So it's lovely to, you know, work with. A couple of viewer questions or comments that I wanted to answer. So Rosina asked me on YouTube, she saw that I did cross stitch, and she saw some of them in their frames and asked me if I framed myself or if I pay to have them framed. And although it's gorgeous when they are paid for to be framed, and my grandmother does that. Graham has beautiful, she likes to cross stitch Amish themed cross stitch, and then she has them framed in like these kind of matte black frames, and they're gorgeous. But it is, as Rosina and I were talking about, it's so expensive to do that. So I usually frame things myself, and I told her that I would show you my dirty little secret. So for instance, I like to pick out a frame that I think kind of coordinates with the theme of the cross stitch. So for instance, here's my little Thanksgiving one, and it says dry turkey, and he's in a martini glass. And I just thought that this frame, which has been in storage for a month or so now and is a little dirty, I thought it kind of went well with the theme. And I have a Halloween one that also is the same size. And so I bought it originally for the Halloween one, and then when I made the Thanksgiving turkey one, I decided I'll just switch them in and out in October and November. So how I frame, it looks great on the front, but my dirty little secret is on the back. I have just pulled this taunt around the insert to get it to look so great on the front. And then I just arrange my cross stitches so that the back is like snug against a wall or whatever, so people don't see the back. So that's what I do. You know, it's so much cheaper, and you can also get, you know, really, you can continue the theme of your cross stitch out and really make it look pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I do. Another question came from Lena of Lena Knits, and she saw a post that I had on Instagram of some things up on my mantle, and I actually have them here. And this little thing is so cute. My niece and nephew made this for me for Christmas. I thought it was a cute little thing, and just adds a little color to our winter. But then she was asking specifically about this. And this is my junk fairy, and her name is Italia, and she is made, she's also very dusty. She's made of all recycled parts from a local artist, but the artist actually does have a shop on Etsy. So her name is Karen, and her Etsy shop, or I'm sorry, her name is Catherine, and her Etsy shop is KRODENBACH. And she puts on all of her junk fairies, I think, what they're made out of. And this one is made out of lamp parts, bucket planter, candy dish, trivet, candlestick, macrame beads, and a globe bookend. So you can see her head is the globe bookend. And then she attaches a little playing card, and on the playing card is the story of your junk fairy. And my junk fairy is from 2012, and it says, if Adelaya's friends and neighbors knew she was modeling the character in her best-selling steamy romance novel after them, she would probably never get invited anywhere. It just seems easier to imagine people she actually knows in her gothic plots rather than make them up from scratch. So far, no one has recognized themselves. So I just think it's really a very, very creative thing. And yeah, so it was at a little art fair that we have in a town close to us. But like I said, she does sell them online. And I'll set her back here so you can see her standing up. And they're all different sizes too. This is one of the bigger ones, but she has little ones that I think would be I know this is going to shock you if you watch my Christmas episodes. I think would be cute as ornaments on a Christmas tree. But I also think they'd be cute. She does some with little block, like letter blocks, like a kid's letter blocks. So you could get like your initial in the little junk fairy. I think that would be cute in like a kid's room on a shelf or something. So yeah, there you go. Cute idea, huh? And I like that she puts a little story about the junk fairy along with it. So, all right, so there were a couple of things, and then I'm just gonna check really fast to make sure I told you everything so far. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so I have a new segment that I would like to introduce to the podcast. And this segment is called Knitspiration. And what is Knitspiration, right? So I thought I would start sharing a couple, 2-3 things each episode that I found inspiring, mostly for knitting, but there will probably be some crochet as well. And, you know, sometimes they'll be from some of you, and sometimes they'll be from a newsletter that I received from a yarn store or something like that. So this episode, I had my first one is this, it's called I'm gonna get it right, Pazarine Hat by Erica Huser. And it is so lovely. Isn't that great? I totally want to make this hat. It's out of fingering weight yarn, so I really need to dig through stash and find 2 colors that I think will go really well. And I like that you can do the birds not just as black birds, but you can do them, you know, she's got some blue ones there. I think it'd be really pretty as red ones. Carol and I were talking about the bobble hat, and then I said, have you seen this hat? And then she brought up Drifty, which is another gorgeous hat pattern, and that one also has matching mitts, so who knows, I might end up making them all. But yeah, I thought that the Pazarine hat was just adorable. And then the other Knitspiration for this month, for this episode, I was excited to see this new yarn from, new, I think it's fairly new, but it's definitely new in my world, which is Cascade 220 Superwash Effects. And I noticed it in the newsletter from the Simply Socks Yarn Company, which is a store here in Indiana. Oh, you can't really see how gorgeous. Let's see. Maybe you can see there. Yeah. So it's a worsted weight, and I just love the look of it. And they have so many different colors, and I just think I'll probably use it for a hat design. I just think it's absolutely adorable. Now I haven't felt it, so I might feel it and be like, ooh, but I doubt it. I mean, it's 220 superwash, so, but I don't, you never know if it's the same base or not. Sorry, that was a school bus going by. They were on a couple-hour delay today because of our snow. So they just went by, and here in a little bit they'll come back because the end of our neighborhood is cul-de-sac. So sorry about that. All right, so I have a few announcements, and they're all about giveaways. So I wanted to just remind everybody what our drawing in February for 2016 Stash Down will be for. Make sure I get this right. Yep. So in February, probably in the middle of the month episode, I will draw from the 2016 Stash Down thread, and you can, chatter there as much as you like. I'll filter myself out when I go to draw, and then, all year long, I'll just draw from everything that's there every other month. So in February, you would win 2 skeins of Knit Picks Swish Worsted in Wine Tasting Tonal. I believe this is a discontinued yarn now, but it's really pretty. It would make a great like hat and mitten set, or 2 hats, or whatever you wanted to do. Cowl. So you get that yarn, and then you also get this little puppy snip from Hiya Hiya in pink, and a little pomegranate EOS lip balm as well. So I thought it was well coordinated for drawing around Valentine's Day. So don't forget to put up comments on the Stash Down thread so that you can be entered for that drawing. And then coming up in February, I'm co-hosting a knit along with Alina of Lena Knits. And if you haven't checked her out, she's new on YouTube. Her podcast has been out for a little bit now. I think she has maybe 5 or 6 episodes now, and she is adorable. She is in Helsinki, and she's just so super sweet, and I really love her knits. So we're going to co-host Finish It February. So for the month of February, our goal is to finish those long neglected projects. So it should be a whip that you started prior to 2016. And then you can enter, post on a thread that I'll have open on the Brownie Knits Ravelry board, and you can enter on Lena Knits Ravelry board as well. And for that one, we're each going to do a drawing. So you can enter in both, and you'll be eligible for both giveaways. And in my group, the winner will receive these 2 skeins of yarn, which is sock hop yarn, hand spun, hand dyed in Black Magic Woman. They're 200 yards each, so it's 400 yards total. It's definitely enough for a pair of socks if that's what you wanted to make. And then you'll get these little Made with Love charms. I promised last time that I would open one of these so you could see it better, and I totally forgot until just now. And I'm managing to rip the bag. La la la. I won't sing. I have a very bad singing voice, so I won't do that to entertain you. But there are these little charms that say Made with Love on both sides. And so you'll get a little bag of those. And then I had a stitch holder thing, like a brand new thing of stitch holders that I was going to give away in this part of the giveaway. I can't find them. So you'll either get those if I ever find them, or you'll get these Clover coil knitting needle holders. So if you can't find the stitch holders, then you get this. So yeah, join us for Finish It February. The nice thing about Finish It February is that you can actually double dip too. Not only am I fine with any of my knit alongs, you can, as long as it's fine with the other podcaster, if they're having something similar, I'm fine with you double dipping. But you can double dip within my group for Finish It February and Stash Down 2016 Stash Down. So you can post a finished object or, and both. So, and I'll draw for that winner at the end of February, beginning of March. And I've had questions before about whether or not my giveaways are open to international, and they absolutely are. So come on in and join us. And then I have another giveaway that I'm just announcing in this episode. Let me grab this. So my friend Larry, and I featured one of his books on an episode last year in the podcast. And he just came out with another book. This is a standalone mystery. And it's from Larry D. Swayze. And the title is 1,000 Falling Crows. So you would win a signed copy of the book. Signed and dated, there you go. Along with a skein of Dream in Color Starry with silver. So it's sock weight yarn with a silver glitter in it. Thought that went well. Last year we did, his cover had some blood on it, so I did a blood red yarn with it. This time I thought, since it was the crows, that I would pair these two together. So I will open up a thread today for you guys to comment in if you want to have a chance at winning this giveaway. And I thought, since this one was about crows and I was so drawn in the Knitspiration segment to the Passerine hat and the Drifty hat, that I would say the entry for this giveaway is to post, what is your favorite bird? So is there a bird that you just, you'll see in your yard and you just love it? So that's the answer, the question to answer for this giveaway. And it's very appropriate because Larry actually volunteers part of his time and has good friends who run a bird rescue. Actually, I think it's a wildlife rescue, but they definitely have a concentration on birds. And at one of his book signings, they actually brought a black crow to be there in the book signing, which was, I understand, was a big attraction. So yeah. So, and if you don't win and you're looking for a book to go and get and read, there you go. You can check him out. He also has several series of Western novels. If you want to, you like somebody in your life likes Westerns, you can check his book out. He's won several Spur Awards for his Western novels. So those are all my active giveaways and knit-alongs at the moment. So I hope that you will join in with us and participate. I hope that you have found something that you found inspiring, and you guys inspire me every day. And last night I was laying in bed actually thinking, I need to up my knitting game. And I thought, why am I thinking that? And I think it's because I've been working a lot on designing. And when I design, I tend to make like 5 or 6 of the design before I'm like completely happy with it. So, and then I can't share it with you guys for a while. So I think that's why I was like itching for something really like more intricate and complex. So I've been inspired by you guys to dig into my stash today, and I'm probably gonna let myself cast on a Passerine hat if I can find the yarn that I want to use for it. Maybe a drifty, maybe drifty mittens, maybe there's a shawl that I got yarn for Carol for Christmas for, and I bought matching yarn for myself, and I'm really itching to start that too. So we'll see. It snows and then you're just like, I want to cast on everything. So anyway, all right, I'm babbling, so I'm gonna get going, and I have to actually go do the hot compress on poor little Kiki. So I hope that you guys are all doing well. I can't wait to see what else you guys post on the Ravelry board. It's been so exciting and fun to see everything that you guys are working on. So, all right, I will talk to you in a couple weeks. Happy knitting and crocheting. Bye-bye.